Thank you for joining today's online travel presentation, where we will talk about the best of Quebec. My name is Lynn, and I am pleased to be your moderator for this presentation. We understand that now is not an easy time to travel, but it is the perfect time to start researching destinations and planning your next trip. So thank you for being here. Before we begin, I'd like to take care of two little bits of housekeeping. The first is we will hold all questions until the end. If you have questions during the presentation, please type them in the question box in the GoToWebinar toolbar, and we will cover them at the end of the webinar. And second, there will be two polling questions during the presentation, and we encourage you to participate. So let's get started. As I mentioned, I am Lynn, and I'll be your moderator, and I am pleased to introduce our product manager, Dawn. Now that you know us, we'd like to get to know a little bit more about you in our first polling question, which is, have you ever visited Quebec? So the poll is now active. We'll leave this open for about 30 seconds to get all the results we can. Okay, and it looks like just about everybody has responded. So I'm going to close the poll. And Dawn, it looks like about 15% of our attendees have visited the province at least once. I know you're going to shed some light on some of the unique things to see and do in Quebec during your portion of the presentation.
Absolutely.
But before we jump into that, I want to share a bit more about Vacations by Rail. We are the leading rail vacations company in the United States and the trusted authority on rail. We offer the largest collection of vacations to destinations around the globe, and the cornerstone of each is a rail journey aboard at least one of the world's iconic trains. Vacations by Rail is a member of the National Tour Association, American Bus Association, and we are also AARP's preferred rail provider. And we are a great rail journeys company, which means we are backed by more than 45 years of experience in the specialty of global rail tours. In addition to unmatched vacations, we offer best-in-class customer care from your first call or email to your return from your trip. Now, whether you're going to the province's famous cities such as Montreal or Quebec City, or traveling to the countryside, the province is ideal for a rail vacation. Consider this. Quebec is easy to get to from many US cities by air or by train from East Coast destinations. It is well situated to reach by train or an easy drive from Canadian destinations as well. And there are plenty of things to see and do for city fans and nature lovers alike. Quebec is well positioned to be included in a larger itinerary that focuses on its maritime neighbors or coast-to-coast adventure as well. So you don't have to stay simply in that province for a vacation. And whether you're interested in a classic overnight rail journey or a shorter daylight trip, a vacation to Quebec has something for everyone. The province of Quebec is very diverse, and I wanted to share some interesting facts surrounding its capital city. 95% of Quebec citizens are francophones, native speaking French, and 80% speak it as their first language. Quebec City was founded in 1608 and is situated along the St. Lawrence River. In 1985, its fortified wall was designated an UNESCO World Heritage Site designation. It is the only walled city in North America north of Mexico. And there are lots of beautiful hotels around the world, but the most photographed one is in Quebec City, and it is the Fairmont Chateau Frontenac. 90% of Canada's maple syrup comes from Quebec. And lastly, Quebec City knows how to do winter. It is home to Carnival, the largest winter festival in the world. Now I'm happy to introduce Dawn, who will tell you about some of the great trains featured on a Quebec vacation, as well as some popular itineraries.
Thanks, Lynn. Yeah, Quebec is absolutely a wonderful province to visit all year round. It's one of my favorites in Canada. And so we're going to just go through and highlight some of our most popular itineraries as well as the train services in Quebec and Eastern Canada. So Via Rail is a Canadian train company servicing passengers throughout the country, east to west, as well as north to south. In Quebec and Atlantic Canada, you'll find two train services. The trains are corridor service, which connects towns throughout Ontario and Quebec, and then the ocean, which bridges Quebec with the maritime provinces. Whoops, sorry, got a little ahead here, guys. Corridor service features two classes of service, economy and business class. Both offer complimentary Wi-Fi and power outlets at your spacious seats. Meals are available for purchase in economy class. Business class seats will include meals, offer additional perks such as exclusive access to the in-station business class lounge, priority boarding, and additional baggage allowance. On board the Ocean, which you'll see a picture of the standard cabin on the left-hand side of your screen. The Ocean provides an overnight journey just shy of 24 hours between Montreal and Halifax, Nova Scotia. Vacations by Rail books all passengers on board the Ocean in Sleeper Plus class, which provides cozy cabins featuring an upper and lower berth at night. During the day, enjoy the train's amenities such as wine tastings, musical acts on certain departures, maritime history lessons, the various lounges throughout the train, and a scenic dome in the park car. Inside the dining car, you'll enjoy fresh meals, regional specialties, and local Canadian wines while watching the landscape unfold around you. The first tour that we're going to discuss today is Montreal and Quebec City by rail. This is one of our most popular trips in the Quebec province, and it's just a quick week-long 3-night vacation in each of the cities, so 6 nights total. We offer it May through October. We offer 3 levels of service on this product: moderate, superior, and deluxe. So depending on your budget and what you're looking for in terms of hotel amenities, we have something to fit everyone's needs. And this trip goes both directions. You can start in Montreal and end in Quebec City, or begin in Quebec City and complete your journey in Montreal. So the 7-day tour begins in Montreal if you're starting there, which is the second largest city in Canada, where you'll spend 3 full days exploring the city. Montreal is an interesting mix of old and new. It's a cosmopolitan city with chic shopping, outstanding restaurants, and very exciting nightlife, with a glimpse of the city's rich history around every bend. Canada's cultural capital is home to legendary sites like the gorgeous Notre Dame Basilica, the famous Olympic complex, and a stunning view from up top of Montreal. From Montreal, you'll travel on Via Rail's corridor service to Quebec City, where you will spend 3 days admiring its 17th century architecture, uncovering its rich history, which can be found down every cobblestone walkway. Visit famed sites such as the Latin Quarter, the Place Royale, and the Basilica, or visit the quaint shops and excellent cuisine that surrounds the city. Highlights of this journey, sorry, these are getting ahead of me here, include the comfortable travel on board Via Rail's corridor service, again in either economy or business class, depending on the level of accommodations that you choose. It's just about a 4-hour journey in between the 2 cities. You'll have centrally located hotel accommodations in both Montreal and Quebec City, and then sightseeing tours of both cities as well to get you familiarized and then allow you plenty of time to explore at your own leisure. The second trip we'll be discussing today is one of my personal favorites, back to the Maritimes. I absolutely love the Maritime region of Canada. It's so beautiful and very different from what most people picture in Canada. It's absolutely lovely. And this trip highlights the sparkling French culture and the easygoing charm of the Atlantic seaside towns, sun-drenched beaches and sparkling coves, and miles of rugged shoreline guarded by graceful lighthouses. It's a delightful introduction to Quebec and Atlantic Canada. An overview of this trip, we begin in Montreal with one night travel on board the corridor service. Again, just that short 4-hour journey. You'll have a full day and one night in Quebec City before boarding the ocean. Again, the full journey is just under 24 hours, but so you'll board the Via Rails Ocean in Quebec City late in the evening and then arrive into Halifax just before dinner time the following day. Plenty to see and do in Montreal, as we discussed on our previous tour, and then we'll introduce you into Atlantic Canada a little bit here. So again, Quebec City is vibrant with its French culture. You'll have a guided sightseeing tour where you'll discover the modern and historic highlights that encompass the city, visiting places such as the Plains of Abraham, the fortifications, the walls around Quebec. Full day of exploration, so you can see firsthand everything that is so magnificent about the city. Again, you'll then make your way aboard Via Rails Ocean throughout the Maritimes, which is a really beautiful journey through that northern peak it goes just above the northern peaks of the US. A really, really beautiful countryside there. You know, think about Maine and Vermont and things like that, and that's the sort of scenery you'll be seeing. And as you make your way into the city of Halifax. Halifax is very rich in history as well. It's an amazing coastal paradise, home to Canada's most photographed lighthouse. And then your adventure comes to an end after your time in Halifax. Highlights of this journey include the overnight rail journey on Via Rails Ocean, which is your classic kind of quintessential overnight train experience. Again, you'll have centrally located accommodations in Montreal, Quebec City, and Halifax. Sightseeing tours in Montreal and Quebec City as well. And then we have an optional excursion to Peggy's Cove, where you can go and see the lighthouse and just get outside of Halifax a little bit, going further south into Nova Scotia. For those interested in a more in-depth tour of this, or more in-depth version, I should say, of this tour, we do have an escorted version that's 12 days as well. So you'll be traveling with a group of like-minded travelers and have a tour guide with you throughout the duration of the journey. It has some additional perks on it, such as a visit to a traditional sugar shack in Quebec, which is really exciting. I'm almost out of my Canadian maple syrup since we haven't been able to travel, and I'm very upset about this. So definitely something to stock up on when you go into Quebec. You also have a full day to visit the Bay of Fundy and the Hopewell Flower Pot Rocks, which is in Nova Scotia. Really, really beautiful area there. You'll see the tides rising. They're the highest tides in the world. And you also have a walking tour of St. Andrew by the Sea, and one of my favorite items, a wine tasting in the Annapolis Valley, which is just the most beautiful area in Nova Scotia. Absolutely love it there. You'll also be going on to Prince Edward Island and then visiting the Cabot Trail as well. So this is a more kind of drawn out journey taking you all throughout the Maritimes, and it's absolutely wonderful. A Taste of Quebec is another really popular journey that we offer. It's brimming with luxury. You'll visit Montreal, Quebec City, and then some of the more surrounding areas of the province outside the main cities on this journey. This is a 6-day independent trip, 2 nights Montreal, 3 nights in Quebec City. And as you can see by the map, you'll have touring throughout the rest of the province, Mont-Tremblant, Saint-Agathe, the Laurentian Mountains, and Tadoussac. You'll visit the Ile d'Orleans. And it's really, really wonderful, more immersive for those looking to get kind of out off the beaten path outside of the cities and explore more of the Quebec countryside. We offer departures end of May through end of September for this particular program. Some highlights of this trip, again, you'll begin in Montreal and then have 2 nights there staying at the Fairmont in deluxe accommodations. You'll then travel to Quebec City and the business class accommodations where, again, meals are included. You'll be served local Canadian wines as you travel through the countryside, and it really is just a beautiful journey there. You'll then be able to explore the beautiful Charlevoix region, which is on the banks of the St. Lawrence River. You'll have a day-long tour, which includes whale watching along the Saguenay Ford. And then you can take in the scenery of rural Quebec as you embark on a trip to Saint-Anne-de-Beaupré, where you visit its famous shrine. And then following that beautiful day in Saint-Anne-de-Beaupré, you get to cap off the day watching the waters of Montmorency Falls and visiting the Ile d'Orleans, which is a really, really beautiful and wonderful experience. So again, highlights of this trip include travel on Via Rail's corridor service in business class, deluxe accommodations in Fairmont properties, both in Montreal and Quebec City, unique sightseeing and excursions in Quebec cities and countryside, including whale watching, guided sightseeing in Mont Tremblant, and a tour of Saint-Anne-de-Beaupré. This is one of my personal favorite journeys. It uses the Train de Charlevoix, which is separate from Via Rail. This is a strictly sort of I would say tourist train. You know, people do use it that live in the Charlevoix region to go to and from, but Via Rail, you'll find a lot of business passengers and locals that take the train from one destination to the other. This is more of a tourist train. It meanders along the St. Lawrence River across 125 kilometers. It snakes along the seaside the entire time. And it's a singular rail cruise between Quebec City and La Malbaie, revealing all the poetic beauty of 7 cliffside and seaside towns and villages. Very, very scenic and wonderful. On board the Train de Charlevoix, light refreshments are available for purchase on board, and the train showcases and serves a number of local terroir products as well as snacks. So the meals or the snacks that you'll be getting on board are typically made from local producers. An onboard beverage menu features alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks and proposes a selection of fruit juices, pop, beer, wine, as well as cocktails. So very nice, relaxing journey. Cheers your local passengers and your guests as you're enjoying the beautiful countryside. So we feature this on our tour, Quebec City and La Malbaie by train, where you get to explore the best of Quebec City and La Malbaie on this vacation that includes whale watching, a day trip to Montmorency, as well as a beautiful, relaxing ride on the Train de Charlevoix. Highlights, so overview of this vacation, you will begin in Quebec City. You'll have 5 nights there total. You'll begin in Quebec City and end there. You'll have a couple nights in La Malbaie where you'll do your whale watching. And then as you can see, you have the Saint-Anne-de-Beaupré, the Cuvillières Albergille, and then in La Malbaie, you can see that you have the ferry journey there where you'll have your whale watching. So this wonderful 8-day vacation celebrates both aspects of this remarkable province, the cities, as well as its beautiful landscapes, forests, and deep clear lakes. We offer summer mostly and then early fall departures on this, so you'll have late June through early October, and that's just the time of year that the train operates. Beginning with the ancient walled city of Quebec, explore this vibrant town, and then soak up the quiet on a countryside tour that takes you to Montmorency Falls. A train ride aboard the Train de Charlevoix takes you to spectacular Fairmont-le-Manoir-Richelieu, where your deluxe accommodations await. Then enjoy the fascinating experience of whale watching on a half-day cruise along the St. Lawrence River. In your free time, explore the walkways of La Malbaie, overlooking the mighty waters of the St. Lawrence River, and enjoy the thrill and elegance of your hotel's on-site European-style casino. Your final full day will bring you back to Quebec, so round trip on that. And then you have the round trip rail as well between Quebec and La Malbaie. Deluxe accommodations are included at Fairmont properties, so you'll have the Fairmont Manoir, the Fairmont Manoir Le Richelieu, as well as the Fairmont Hotel Frontenac. We have a private guided sightseeing tour in Quebec City, and then, as I mentioned, the full-day whale watching cruise, as well as the excursion to Montmorency Falls and Saint-Anne-de-Beaupré. The final trip we'll just be discussing today is Quebecois holidays. This is another trip that I actually love, and I kind of personally designed it after my own vacation to Quebec and Montreal one year over the Christmas and New Year holidays. It is so magical to visit these cities in winter. You really feel like you're stepping back in time. Canadians truly embrace the seasons. It's absolutely lovely. And it's such a winter wonderland. I absolutely love it. So during the coldest months of the year, Canada turns into a playground of sorts. Winter sports reign supreme, and there are plenty of festivals, activities, and attractions to keep visitors and locals entertained. Blanketed under the snow, Canada's cities gain a fresh look, one that makes the sights look ever so different than during the warmer months. Luckily for you, you will get to experience all of these elements that make winter in Canada so special on this week-long journey between Montreal and Quebec City. You'll begin in Montreal with guided and independent sightseeing before traveling by train to Quebec City. In this French-inspired city, beauty comes to life as the pristine snow blankets the centuries-old buildings. Spend time exploring the city on your own, as well as visiting one of the most spectacular attractions in Quebec, the Hotel de Glace. So the Hotel de Glace is about 45 minutes outside the city. You'll be given a transfer there. It's a hotel made of ice. It's absolutely magical. It changes every year. And then at the Hotel de Glace, you'll have a guided sightseeing tour, as well as a cocktail made in your own ice glass. So that's how you kind of cap off your journey there. And it's a really, really magical excursion. It's the only ice hotel in North America. This trip also includes private transfers, the comfortable rail transportation in business class, luxury hotel accommodations. So again, you're staying at those wonderful Fairmont properties and all sorts of exciting ventures. This grand tour offers all the best of two of Canada's finest cities. And we do offer this during Carnival as well. It's the exact same tour, but we'll include tickets to the Carnival sightseeing and adventures and all the parades and all of that sort of thing. So that is our Quebecois holiday with Carnival. So we offer all sorts of different ways to customize your vacation to your needs, all sorts of different upgrades that you can offer, such as private airport transfers, hotel upgrades within there. We're able to book teas at the Fairmonts that they offer those. That's always a really wonderful experience while you're there. And even if you're not staying at the Fairmont, you can always nip in for a spot of tea, experience that wonderful sort of magical time of having tea in the Fairmonts, which is really, really beautiful. And there's all sorts of additional sightseeing that we can offer as well. I'm going to send it back to Lynn for our next round of questions.
Thanks, Dawn. It's true. Our next polling question is here, and it is going to be, what interests you most about a rail vacation to Quebec? So our choices are discovering historic cities, exploring the scenic countryside, whale watching and other nature excursions, or experiencing the province's culture and gastronomy. So lots of great choices there. Keep this open for about 10 or 15 more seconds. It looks like a lot of people are already replying. All right, we're gonna close our poll. While all of the aspects of a vacation to Quebec appeal to looks like something for everyone, the majority of votes went towards discovering historic cities, followed by whale watching and nature excursions.
Excellent. Don't skip on the food though. Quebec and Montreal both have an excellent food scene.
Absolutely. If you want to learn more about our Quebec rail vacations or other itineraries to destinations around the globe, you can flip through any of our brochures online or download one to review at leisure. You can do so by visiting www.vacationsbyrail.com. Oops, did I? No, that's the right slide. To book a rail vacation with Vacations by Rail, any of our rail specialists would love to speak with you. They can be reached toll-free at 877-929-7245. You can also book online at www.vacationsbyrail.com. But regardless of how you contact us, the rail specialist who services your first call or electronic transaction is the one who will be dedicated to you until you return home from your trip. So now we are at the Q&A portion of our presentation. And Dawn, if you have time for a few questions, I have a couple good ones we've received.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. The first question is, if a trip includes the famous Chateau Frontenac, can I upgrade my room?
Absolutely. They have all sorts of different upgrades. City Riverview, the Fairmont Gold rooms. It's absolutely able to be done. Not a problem at all.
Wonderful. The next question is, can an itinerary be upgraded to include private sightseeing?
Yes, absolutely. We have a variety of private sightseeing in both Quebec and Montreal. So any of our itineraries in other provinces as well, because Vacations by Rail offers stuff all throughout Canada, all throughout the rest of the world. We definitely have private sightseeing in almost every location.
Excellent. And the last question is, are transfers included?
Transfers will be included sort of based on the trip. For example, on our Quebec to the Maritimes, when you are boarding the ocean to head to Nova Scotia, there is a private transfer that's included there, as the rail station that services the ocean is outside the city. However, most of the in-city transfers where you're just walking from the hotel, a block or two to the station, those will be on your own. However, we are always able to add private transfers and private airport transfers should you so choose.
Great. Thanks so much, Dawn. If your question was not answered, one of our rail specialists will get back to you shortly with a reply for you. I know that we have several that are pending, but that is all the time we have for now. So I wanted to personally thank you all for attending, and thank you, Dawn, for taking time out of your schedule to talk to us all about Quebec.
Oh, my pleasure, Lynn. Thank you for having me.
All right, wonderful. Have a great day.